Hello everybody, welcome back here to franktortorici.com. Again, if you're joining me through my website at franktortorici.com, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or createyourhealth.com, I'd like to welcome you as always. So this blog is for you parents out there. I know a lot of parents over the years that do such a great job at giving their kids the right foods and the right food-based supplements when they're at home and they're nursing them and they're developing, but then once the child goes to school and they're exposed to the sad diet and they're just contaminated with all the toxins, their taste buds start shifting and they start running into problems. And then, by the time the child is 5 or 6 years old, all you could get them to eat is like an organic chicken nugget or organic macaroni and cheese. And I notice a lot of kids, they just start ingesting a lot of grains, sugars, and meats and dairy, which, they're lacking the fruits and vegetables. So one real easy thing that you parents can do to get greens into your child's diet are actually two simple things. The first thing that I want to recommend is, because you always want to get it from food first. If you do have a Vitamix blender, great. If you do not, I really suggest you look into purchasing one, a Vitamix blender. They are by far the king of kings, all-type blender. And this is very important because when you blend in different greens into a smoothie to try to mask the taste, it's going to really puree that really well, whereas if you have a generic blender, the texture may not work well with a child. So a real good thing for a smoothie is you can use some almond milk or hemp milk, or a raw milk if you live in California or Wisconsin from a grass-fed cow only, or you can just use alkaline water. Use that as your base, add some ice cubes. You're going to add some frozen berries, organic frozen berries, either blueberries, raspberries, or strawberries, or all three. You're going to put that in the blender. You'll add a few ice cubes. You will add a heaping tablespoon of raw cacao powder, which is just raw chocolate. Okay, you're going to add about a tablespoon of raw honey. Okay, if you do not have raw honey, stevia is good, xylitol is good, and then the last resort would be organic maple syrup. Okay, so you use that as your sweetener. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take a handful to 2 handfuls of spinach and throw that in the blender as well, and then you're going to add a banana. Okay, between the berries, the honey, or whatever sweetener you use, and the banana, they will not taste the spinach in there at all. You can even be daring and add a little bit of kale as well. But you will be surprised, it will completely mask the taste. And then to add a little bit more of a creamy texture, you can just use some raw cashews. I'd recommend soaking the cashews in water for about a half hour, just so they soften up and they'll give it more of a creamy texture. You could throw that in the blender. If your kid has a nut allergy and you're afraid to go with the cashew, the other great thing to add is an avocado. An avocado will give it a nice, creamy, smoothie-like texture, and once you blend it really well in the Vitamix, there will be no little pieces of leaf or anything like that. It will be very smooth and creamy. So you can do it as a smoothie or you can do it as a pudding-type texture. But again, anytime you're doing greens and trying to get that into your child's body, a great way to mask the taste is always going to be a banana. It has a very dominant taste. Now I know there's a little bit of sugar in that smoothie, but the trade-off is you're getting those alkaline greens into their system, and that's what we need to do when the child is at that point where you really can't get them to sit and eat a salad or any types of just loose pieces of cucumber or carrots if their taste buds have shifted to the sad diet. The other great thing to do is in a supplement form. There's various different companies out there, but you can find green powders that are geared for children, where they have a chocolate flavored green powder mixed with stevia. You can find just plain spirulina powder and add that to the smoothie. Dr. Schultz has a superfood powder that's really great. There's tons of green powders out there on the market, superfood powders, and you can add that to their smoothies as well. And then once you have the cacao and the sweetener and the banana, it will mask the taste. But I really encourage you parents to do whatever you can to get those greens into your child's body, because they are crucial for their development, for minimizing their risk of catching the average cold. And if you are feeding your child a smoothie like this every day, I guarantee you will not have to pump them with any type of synthetic forms of injections of vaccines and then create more problems for your child. So again, if you have not subscribed already, please click the subscription button here. It is free on YouTube. My website is franktortorici.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and createyourhealth.com as well. Okay, so I want to thank you guys for your time. Please pass these videos along to your family and friends. Peace and love.